Nick Nurse and these Raptors are legit 108 to 105. They beat the highly touted Cleveland Cavaliers, and I really think the Raptors are a team that's taken a jump. Siakam continued to do his thing, grabbed 11 rebounds, but one thing that he had one assist. He had 23 points. OG and Anunoby had 18. Scottie Barnes had 15, but he dropped 7 assists, had a block, was just basically Scottie Barnes, best player on the floor. Fred VanVleet did his thing, had a few assists. Okay, shot some three-pointers, awesome. Gary Trent did his thing, just scored a bunch of points and kept the ball moving. Then off the bench, you had Thad Young, Precious Achiuwa. Precious Achiuwa continued, to just look awesome. I know his shots didn't fall tonight, but he's still looking good. They played a bit of Christian Colocu, a lot more than I was expecting Christian Colocu to play. But, the bench is looking like it's going to be Thad Young, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, Precious Achiuwa, Christian Colocu, and Delano Banton. Unless, Malachi Flynn beats out Banton, which is possible. Juancho Hernan-Gomez, I think, it's an 8-man rotation. Thad Young, Precious Achiuwa, and Chris Boucher when he's back. But then you'll have Hernan-Gomez, Christian Colocu, and Delano Banton behind those guys. But I really want to talk about the fact that this team, the starting lineup, everybody was, hitting their shots. I think Siakam was the guy who hit the least amount of shots, but OG was hitting his shots. Scottie hit his shots. Fred VanVleet hit his shots. I just thought the team was moving the ball, and it just looked, when you were watching the Cavaliers play, it just felt a little bit discombobulated. But then you watch the Raptors, and it was like watching soccer. It was like people were making music, and I was just like, damn, that's the difference between these teams, isn't it? And it's fun. It's incredibly fun to watch, and it's something to see, especially when you have this much basketball on tonight. And I personally just thought it was a great game to watch, and it was just, the Raptors are a good coach basketball team that keeps the ball moving, okay? And I think that's something that people don't really it's just smart basketball. And I think this just comes from Nick Nurse being a guy who coached all around the world. And they just do a good job of incorporating everybody into the play. And when you look at this, it's literally like Siakam, it just felt like everyone had the ball a lot. Siakam had the ball a lot. OG had the ball a lot. Scottie, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent. Okay, and then even when Precious, they even had Precious getting into a good mix. And I really like how Christian Colocu, for the one time they have a pure center, it feels like in the first time in 2 years. Okay, and this was a team that, they limited their turnovers. They still had 13, but, they had 20 points off turnovers, 36, in the fast break. And not fast, 20 in the fast break, 20 off turnovers, and then they had 36 in the paint. And I just thought this was a team that did a really good job at taking advantage of what the other team did and of the mistakes from the other team. So I thought, all in all, it was a great game. Okay, it's just the start of the season, so there's going to be more. Okay, in my opinion, from this team that is going to continue to be fun to watch. In my opinion, I think one thing that people don't really I don't want to badger, but a part about this team that I do want to see is, do you think by the end of the season Gary Trent Jr. will be moved to the bench to be the sixth man because this team doesn't have a true sixth man on the roster? Or do you think that's just not something that they're going to worry about and they'll just move forward with it? I think it's just something definitely to look into, and I very much do wonder what it's going to look like. But yeah, I think definitely it'll be fun as the season progresses to see what ends up happening and why. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think about this game? Is there anything you wanted to see more from the Toronto Raptors, or is that all? I think it's going to be a great season. A win is a win. So hit that like and subscribe button.